The first memory that I have is seeing my dad for the first time. I was 5 years old. My father was recruited into the Vietnam War, even though he was South Korean, because South Korea was a very, very poor country, and my father couldn't provide. And I remember people were saying, "You're gonna see your dad, you're gonna see your dad, your dad's coming back, your dad's coming back." It was like a huge, huge thing for my family. And I remember my dad came off the plane and says to me, "I'm going to bring you to the land of opportunity, and we're gonna have a chance there." Sorry. Coming off that plane ride and landing in Pennsylvania, living in a one-bedroom apartment, it was rough, it wasn't an easy environment. It was the streets of Philadelphia. I know that I was now, but at the time I never realized how poor we really were. I was really shy. I was really, really, really shy. I couldn't speak English, and my face would turn red anytime anybody spoke to me at school. To go from that to, at 18 years old, I see a newspaper ad at the local car dealership. That was a long step, but I knew that the job paid well. I get the job as the greeter, and 2 weeks later, they go, "You're a salesperson now, go and speak to strangers." I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? Being surrounded by men, double my age, I'm 5'3", Asian. They're thinking I'm gonna be submissive. As shy as I was, the survival instinct came out, and realizing that they were gonna bully me pretty bad, I wasn't submissive. I was like a street fighter. Somebody would toss their food in the cafeteria, and I would toss it right back in their face just to let them know I mean business. All of the things that basically I went through as a little kid, you come from an environment where you're street smart, you're tough, because you don't have a choice. The car dealership was great for that. My husband always said that I had this thing called ownership mentality. So whether I worked for somebody else or not, I would give it my all. I would slave away at midnight, at 1 a.m. And he said, if you're gonna do that, you should own your own company. I was 47 years old when I started Constellation 7 years ago. People all would think like I had this vision that it was gonna be something big. I didn't. I had put $22,000 into Constellation, that was it. When VW cut a deal with me, that's when I actually raised the first $2.6 million from friends and family, because I realized this was real. The team was only 4 people when we first started. We kept growing out of this space every month. So we went from a 4-person office to a 6-person office to a 12-person office to a 15-person office. The office floor is now close to 50,000 square feet at One World Trade. As a woman of color, it's a special journey that sometimes we take. I think there are a lot of entrepreneurs that are against all odds. To be number one, to beat your competitors, to innovate, to dream of things and make it happen, it takes discipline every single day. In the Asian families, it's all about burden, not burdening each other. One of the biggest regrets that I have is that my dad passed away before I moved to One World Trade. Not because I wanted him to see how successful I could be. I wish I could have gotten here faster to lessen his burden.